And then Cory had actually reached out to me and said, hey man, I saw my post is going kind of crazy. My team is reading through some of these comments, and if you're offended by it, let me know, I'll take it down. So I responded, I'll just put like a screenshot of it up here.
Okay, so I just want to pop on here to talk about this whole Forrest Frank, Cory Asbury thing. If you guys haven't heard about it, I'm going to tell you what it's about. So as you guys know, or may not know, Forrest Frank actually broke his back, and then he wrote a song from when he, like while he was healing from his back. And then also Crowder also, I think, broke his leg, and they surgeries, all of these things. And then Cory Asbury went and decided to kind of poke fun at the whole situation. It was like another Christian singer that, you know, got hurt. And in this case, he was talking about how he got a vasectomy. And I think there was several Christian singers that were making fun of what's going on. I'm not sure, but I know for sure those people, Cory Asbury was. And I saw comedians mimicking it. Well, then Forrest Frank responded, and he wasn't very happy. So, if you know anything about Cory Asbury, he kind of has like a sarcasm, and so it kind of makes sense as something that he would do. Now, I don't necessarily know that I would do it as a Christian singer. I don't think that based on the response that Forrest Frank gave, he wasn't very happy with it, but he said he would forgive him and all these things. And maybe, I don't know the conversation, but I'm wondering if maybe something that ran through Forrest Frank's mind was, oh, maybe they're jealous because he's like the #1 Christian singer right now, chart topping all over. But I don't know. Okay. In my mind, I'm like, was it that serious? No, but Forrest Frank did acknowledge this and it happened to, like, it was a huge thing for me, and I was really traumatized. It was traumatic, and you break your back because he was skateboarding. Obviously, it's traumatic for anybody, so I can see that. Maybe he thought there, like I said, some sort of jealousy. Is it something that Cory Asbury would do? I honestly could guess. He's known for his, like, sometimes sarcastic humor, things like that. Now, if I was on the receiving end of that, I probably wouldn't like it either. But what are your thoughts? I definitely think that there is some truth to what Forrest is saying, because I feel like I would be offended too. But I don't know. I think in the end of the day, we should refrain from making fun of people and just make sure that we are doing our best to honor God, because we don't want to come across as jealous either, and we wouldn't want it to happen to us.
Okay, everyone has tagged me in this video of Cory Asbury. Apparently he got injured as well.
So I just got home from the hospital, and honestly, the meds are starting to wear off. A little trigger warning, but here's the video.
What's up, guys? I'm on the table getting a vasectomy.
So we didn't plan this, but, you know, my boy Forrest, he turned lemons into lemonade, and so I figured I still got use of my hands. You know, I could still make music. So I'm sitting here and decided to cook this song up, and hope it encourages y'all.
Snip, snip season, but we stay winning. Souls. Spread the gospel.
All right. Man, this is super tough. I know y'all are gonna be like, Forrest, you're way too sensitive, but this is like the 10th or even the 20th post I have seen from another Christian artist making fun of probably the most traumatic moment of my life, my wife's life. And I know that God has brought a lot of blessing from it, and maybe that's why y'all think it's cool to like now make fun of it. These are people that I've never spoken to. I've never interacted with them. And for some reason, my algorithm sends it directly to me. I can totally understand the fact you guys are just having fun. You're probably not even really thinking that I'm gonna see it. I'll just say this. To everybody who's making these videos, I'm not telling you to stop, but this raises a really interesting conversation with social media, because there's no seatbelt on a social media. I know there's a lot of kids that are watching this. You know, when you're in junior high and you're in high school, you're gonna get made fun of a lot. All that being said, Cory, I'm still gonna write you a song. So give me a second. Wow, that came out kind of heavy. Cory, I know that you're a deep songwriter. I think it would be really cool if we kind of tackled the subject together, if you're down to play ball. So I'm thinking I'm gonna call it Misunderstood. Here it is.
Sometimes words hit you in the chest, sting you like a bee, and rob you of your rest. And heaven knows sometimes people try to mean well, but trauma from their past got them stuck inside of hell. Well, it's okay if you feel misunderstood. There's a man who did as well when they nailed him to wood. And even through all the pain, still he forgave them. So I can forgive somebody too.
Jumping on here to give you guys a quick update. So yes, in the video that Forrest Frank did in response to Cory Asbury, he mentioned to him too they should write a song together, and I would love that. Well, Cory saw the video because his phone was blowing up, as he said, and gave a response to it, and he apologized. And like I figured, because I recognize the fact that Cory is often like sarcastic in his humor and things, that it was more of like a comedic thing versus just him being arrogant or nothing. But he talked about how he experienced, even with Reckless Love, that people would jump on videos to get views, and I think he admitted kind of doing that. And he apologized. He wrote a good song, and I would love to see them make a song together. What do you guys think?
Forrest Frank, I saw your video, man. My phone has been absolutely blowing up, brother. Let me take this opportunity to say I apologize, man. I never meant to poke fun at anything that you were going through. I don't know if you've noticed this lately, but you've been kind of blowing up, and your content is almost a template to have fun and create. So everybody's jumping on it. I experienced this with Reckless Love, people sort of coming out of the woodwork to attach themselves to that, to get some views and some likes from it. So, bro, I apologize for being one of those people. I heard your song, and I think it's really powerful, man. I'm down to go there with you, bro. If I may, I'd love to just pull back the curtain a little bit. I've seen all the comments, you know, he's a heretic, he's going to hell, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing, this and that. And maybe that's my fault for never introducing myself to y'all in a deep way. This is no excuse, but I grew up in a home where it was rough. A lot of things going on, a lot of screaming, a lot of yelling. When I use comedy as a way to lighten the load of life, bring levity to an otherwise heavy situation, humor has always been a big part of my life. It's helped me make friends, and I'll admit that there's been times that I've taken it too far, and I'll own that. But what I have is a high value for honesty and transparency. You know, living here in Nashville, I see a lot of people that are one way behind closed doors in a completely different way with their friends. It's always been a goal of mine to treat social media like a group chat with the boys. What you see is what you get. I'm not fake. I'm not putting on a performance for anyone. That's no excuse. I feel misunderstood as well. And I can see the bigger picture here. I know that I brought this on myself. If I were to write a verse on this, it would maybe be something like, sometimes words cut so deep, it's hard to be kind when anger's all you've seen. The shadow of home can stretch long through the years, covers up the sunshine even when the sky's clear. 'Cause it's okay if you feel misunderstood. There's a man who did as well when they nailed him to wood. Even through all the pain, still he forgave them. So I can forgive somebody too.
Thank you, Cory, for being honest and real. As someone who has come across your content a lot, I'll admit I am someone who has looked at stuff you've posted and been like, what's up with this dude? I'm not saying I'm better. I have kind of this one-track mind of like, I used to be lost and then Jesus saved my life, and I'm going to try my hardest to dedicate every iota of energy towards sharing that, and especially on social media, because I'm like, okay, people are following, and so I want to protect my flock. I want to protect their eyes, their ears. Lost people are watching, and that's just kind of the stance that I take. So I had made this post, but I was sitting back and I wasn't going to post it because I knew that it wasn't going to be necessarily a good look, and I had actually decided that I was going to delete it. And then Cory had actually reached out to me and said, hey man, I saw my post is going kind of crazy. My team is reading through some of these comments, and if you're offended by it, let me know, I'll take it down. So I responded, I'll just put like a screenshot of it up here. I was like, dude, thanks for reaching out. I gotta be honest, these type of posts, they don't really sit right with me. I was kind of owning the fact that like, hey, maybe I'm sensitive. And what's tough is, as a believer, I signed up for mockery. I signed up for mockery from the world, and I signed up for unity with my brothers and sisters in Christ. Vastly, what I've seen is crickets from the world and mockery with my brothers and sisters in Christ. I know people are watching this and they're like, yup, I've seen it. Like, I saw one video and it was like a girl praying, and she kept using a bunch of filler words. The Christian community is clowning this girl for praying. Like I said, there's no seatbelt on social media. So anyways, yeah, Cory had reached out to me. So I was just like, hey, do I have your permission to post this video of me reacting to your video? And he was like, yeah, bro, I mean, I did what I did, and feel free to do your thing. So I posted that. Here's the interesting thing, guys. He had like 5,000 comments on his page, just like, yo, you're the worst. And what's crazy is I didn't know his story, and you don't know his story. So we've been on the phone, and I've gotten to hear this guy's story. And within a few seconds, I felt resolution. 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, I think I have a new best friend. 3 days ago, I literally have goosebumps right now. Cory, I'm crying right now. I'm literally crying. Bro, a few days ago, I was like texting my friends like, yo, what's up with Cory? I don't know this dude. And then now I literally, like, I want you to come over to my house and have dinner with my family. I want us to hang out. Like, I see your heart and I see your story, and I love you, dog, straight up. I can't believe that God is doing this right now in real time. I explained this in a video, but I did this 30-day journal, and I felt like God was saying, hey, I want you to document everything in real time. That's what's happening, and now you're my brother. And only God can do that. Let's reach out to each other directly. Your worst enemy could be your best friend in one phone call.